I'm Brent Bridges here at Jacket Journal Live. I'm here with,
Mr. Sanford.
and we're going to talk about moving to the LCL. And then, so what are the main reasons we moved to the LCL?
Well, first, thanks for having me on your fireside chat this morning, Mr. Bridges. I mean, there's a number of things that go into when you're evaluating kind of a conference, and certainly a change of this magnitude. Obviously, 7 years ago, we made the switch from the Ohio Capital Conference to the Ohio Cardinal Conference, and a number of factors played into that. One being transportation was a big one too, competitiveness and in being a part of like schools. About 3 years ago, we were approached by the LCL with an opportunity to make a switch again, and at that time, it just wasn't the right fit in terms of them having all of their schools and ducks in a row in terms of what was made it appealing to us. So for us, 3 years later, came back to the table. Since then, they've added Zanesville to the conference. We would round out and make 12 schools there with a big and a small school division. So for us, transportation was a big piece. As you guys are aware, we added New Philadelphia to the Ohio Cardinal Conference. That's an hour and 45 minutes. A lot of people just think about football and think that all of conference decisions are made based on football, and that's not the case. We have middle school basketball and volleyball teams having to get out of school early to get to New Philadelphia, to get to Worcester, to get to West Holmes for early starts of contests. So that's a big component of our evaluation. Competitiveness, we have several like schools that are in this conference. With Watkins Memorial and Granville and Zanesville, our furthest trip will be 40 miles. So we play a lot of these schools already. It just kind of brings everything together now for us to hopefully to start to develop some rivalries with some of these schools and make it really appealing for our kids, our programs, and our community.
Yeah, and how do you think this will differ from the OCC that we're in right now?
Well, I think there's a number of things. Obviously, I'm hopeful. You know, in high school athletics, our revenue or our budget is determined by gate receipts and revenues. So having closer trips to travel, both Mount Vernon fans going to their schools and vice versa, Zanesville, Granville, Watkins, Licking Heights coming here. We're hopeful that we pack the stands for our games, which obviously increases our revenue, and so that we can put those funds back into our programs to help develop our athletics as a whole.
Yeah, and then what do you hope changing the LCL does for the athletes?
To the athletes, well, again, it's about being competitive, and we want to, along with rivalries and transportation, we want to compete for conference championships, and I think moving to this conference enhances that opportunity for our programs across the board, from golf and tennis to football and soccer and volleyball, basketball. I mean, it's going to be a competitive conference nonetheless, but at the same time, hopefully puts us in a position where we can fight for conference championships.
Yeah, thank you.
Carpenter, and I'm here with
Nate Hunt.
Jay Campbell.
these are two head coaches. Coach Hunt is head coach of the baseball team. Coach Campbell is head coach of the football team. So I'm sure you guys know we have announced that we are moving to the LCL in the near future. So what are your guys' thoughts on this move to the LCL?
I think it's a great move for us. One, because it's in the Central District, so we're able to compete with guys that we'll compete with in the same district as us. And two, just closer, create a rivalry in the Central District, and yeah, I think it's a great move.
I'm excited about it. Kind of like Coach Hunt mentioned, we're going to see a lot of teams that, first off, are a lot closer to us. I think geographically it makes a lot of sense. I think our average trip now in the OCC is around an hour ish, and then when we move to the LCL, I think our longest trip will be an hour. So I think geographically it makes a lot of sense. I think with the growth that's coming up from like Intel and those kind of things, that it just makes sense. Like all of our communities are going to be impacted, including the rest of the schools in the LCL.
And what do you hope the move to the LCL does for your program and your athletes within your program?
I think obviously with everything that we said before, but two, I think it puts in perspective just how, one, there is great baseball where we were, but just how tough it is to win a conference when it's 16 teams. I get it, there's 6 in the big, 6 in the small, but a lot of meaningful baseball games as opposed to just your conference will be big for the program.
It's going to give, as far from like a football perspective, we're going to have a great opportunity again to see a lot of good competition, like Coach Hunt mentioned. We see a lot of great competition in the OCC, but the LCL has some great football programs as well. When we look at Watkins and Licking Heights and Granville and Valley, there's a ton of tradition in the LCL. So I'm excited for us to kind of be able to get in there, compete, and kind of show the LCL, what we're trying to build here.
Thank you.
John Cook.